morning, kitties. How are you? This is Miss Annette here with the Early Bird Classroom. Here, not so early again. Not early, but not too late either. We are back to our book, Our Tales of Virtue. Let me Buddha Buddha. Let me put up a be right back, and I will be right back so that I can get a glass of water, get some water, and turn on this other light. So Miss Annette will be right back for our Early Bird Classroom. I'm here. Let's go ahead and get started since we're already late. Here's my water. Here's my little bit of lemon water that I kind of put just a little bit of sweetener in there, tiny bit of sweetener in there to help me. So I have my water. And it keeps your skin looking very young as well. So get your water if you've got it. Okay, I happen to have my glasses as well. So I have everything I need. Does anyone remember what our topic was today? Anyone remember? I know, it was a little while since we talked about it, last Thursday. Our topic today, we're going to talk about work. Work, because work is a virtue. Work actually is a virtue. And so what that means is this helps us become better people. And when we're better people, if we have virtues, those virtues help us become better people. And when we become better people, that helps us throughout our day. Every single day it helps us when we learn to be better people. So today we're learning the virtue that helps us become a better person. Again, do you remember? The virtue is work. Work. Let's take this other thing down. Work. 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 That's a little bit hard, because this actually has what we call a murmur diphthong. Work. Remember how we were talking about consonant blends? Remember we were talking about consonant blends last Thursday? Well, sometimes we have a blend with a vowel and an R. That also is a blend as well. It's a different kind of blend. But remember what we said about blends. Do you remember? We said when we are blending letters together, no matter if they're vowels or if they're consonants or both, when we are blending them, they have just a little bit different sound. They have a little bit different sound. So OR is also a sound that we blend, because it doesn't sound like, remember, a short O is irk. It's not wa-irk, right? It's not wa-irk. It's work is the word. Work. Okay, but we're not talking about consonants and vowels and sounding words out. We are talking about work is what we're talking about. Remember how that's spelled, though? Just a small word, right? Just a small word. W-O-R-K. Get on with it. Work is what God or others give us to do. Okay, so it's something that people give us to do. When we do our special work, we learn, we grow, and we are happy. Okay, I don't know. Sounds a little suspicious to me. Work makes me happy. Let's see. There once was a good man named Noah. Noah lived a long, long time ago. He lived at a time when people began to do many bad things. Sounds like right now sometimes, doesn't it? God was very sad because of this, and he wanted to start all over again. So God said, I must find a good man who will do special work for me. And God found Noah. God said to Noah, I am going to send a great flood that will cover all the earth. Well, that's a way to get things started, isn't it? To start again, I will wash away all of the bad things on the earth and make it new again. Don't you wish you could do that sometimes? Just go and take a bath and wash everything away that you did that was wrong sometimes? I do. I know I do. I wish that that's all it took was to take a bath and wash away something I did wrong. I wish. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Then God said, I have special work for you. I want you to build a very large boat called an ark. Did you know that a very large boat is called an ark? And I will tell you just how to build it. I will tell you how wide and how high it needs to be. And I will tell you what kind of wood to use. Building the ark will take a very long time and a lot of hard work. Will you do this for me, Noah? That does sound like a lot of hard work. And in fact, I didn't go there, and I was going to put a picture up there for you, but I did not. And maybe I'll get that there for you tomorrow. Probably not today, but I was going to go to Kentucky. And in Kentucky, somebody took these measurements because God said, I will tell you just how to build it. I will tell you how wide and how high it needs to be. Well, guess what? Guess what? In the Bible, they tell you how wide and how high and how long the ark actually was. In the Bible, God actually tells Noah what the size is, and you can find the size of the ark in the Bible, the actual size of the ark, because it says God told you how wide and how high it needs to be. It's right in the Bible. And do you know what else? Somebody built that ark. In fact, more than one person. The one in the United States is here in Kentucky. So they took all of those measurements, right? Whatever God told them how high it was and how wide it was, they took them and they built an ark. And there's an ark that matches the size of the real ark that God told us how big it was going to be in Kentucky. I want to see that. I want to see with my own eyes how big that ark was. And then they filled it with stuffed animals too, the same size as real animals, so you could see how the animals would get into the ark. Building the ark, isn't it amazing? I think it's amazing. And I think it's wonderful in our country that we could go and see those things. That's at a national park. That's where some of our monies go to. Our tax dollars sometimes go to those parks to keep those parks looking very, very beautiful. Building the ark will take a very long time and a lot of hard work. Oh, we already read that. Will you do this for me, Noah? And Noah said yes. So Noah was obeying God too. Remember, obedience? He was listening to God. God asked him, right? He could have said no, but he obeyed God and he built that ark. Noah worked every day on the ark. He worked for many years. His sons helped him. Sometimes it was easy. Sometimes it was hard. Sometimes it was fun. Sometimes it was boring. But they knew they were doing God's special work. That would be kind of special if God asked me to do something. I would do it. If I heard him ask me to do something, I would do it. I think I would. It'd be hard for me to build an ark, though. I couldn't build an ark by myself. Noah did everything God told him to do. He was happy because his work made his family strong. I said I wouldn't be strong enough to do it by myself, but it made them strong. Look at that ark. Look at that right there, that boat. It's all covered here and it's covered like a house there. And then look, they can all walk in there. There's the door. Then God said to Noah, I have some more work for you to do. I want you to take every kind of animal into the ark. Take food for the animals and for you. And take your wife and your whole family too. Of course. Of course. Nobody wants to be on the ark by themselves. That'd be no fun. Noah did everything that God told him to do. Then God closed the door to protect them from the storm. Noah was happy to do God's special work because God kept him and his family safe and warm inside the ark. That would be so interesting, wouldn't it? I don't know. Would you want to be alive when there was a flood that covered the whole earth? And do you know what? You want to know what? This is a story in the Bible, but do you know what? Every single place on earth has a story about a great flood. Every place on earth has a story about a great flood. It seems like it to me, it must have happened. If every single place on earth all have a story of a flood, it seems like maybe it really did happen. Maybe it's not just a story. That would be so amazing. Look at that. Look at how amazing that is and all those animals. That's so cute. Noah lived on the ark a very long time, and the flood was over. After the flood was over, God brought Noah and his family and all the animals to a brand new land. Wow. Noah was happy. Noah thanked God for choosing him to do his special work. Would you like to do some special work, do you think? Do you think you would like it if God asked you to do special work? Do you think God has asked you to do special work? I think some people know their special work. Even when they're little, I think some people know their special work. They know what God is asking them to do when they are little, I think. Not everybody. I didn't know what God was going to ask me to do when I was little. So not everybody knows for sure. I didn't know. But I feel like I'm doing his special work reading to you guys right now. God took care of Noah and his family. God was happy that Noah did his special work. God put a rainbow in the sky and promised never to flood the earth again. God has special work for us to do. When we do our special work, we can be happy too. Wow, that is really an interesting story. God made a promise and put a rainbow in the sky. Every time we see that rainbow, it's supposed to remind us of God's promise he made to us to never cover the earth in water again. That is what the rainbow does. It reminds us of that. That's so interesting to me. And I think it's wonderful that God asks us to do special work because you know what? It kind of makes me feel important when God asks me to do special work. Right there. That's our next story right there. Our next story. That's kind of a hard word because it looks like honesty. Honesty, but the H is silent. You can't hear the H, and it's honesty. That word is honesty. Okay, so next time we meet on Thursday, when we meet on Thursday, we're going to talk about honesty. Tomorrow is our what? Is our reading day, right? Our reading day for consonant blends is tomorrow. Okay, so there's our story. Let's get to our questions, shall we? Okay, I don't know if we should have time to review our patience as well. What is work? What was Noah's special work? All right, so we always ask, they always tell us what it means. Do you remember what work means? What it means to work? And then also, what was Noah's special work? How did Noah know how to build an ark or to build that very big boat? How did he know? How did Noah know how to build that ark? What kind of work do you do? Do you like to work? Okay, so first of all, let me know if you do any work at home. Do you have chores to do at home, for example? Do you have to do any work at your house? And if the answer is no, what might be a very, very good idea is if you asked your mom and dad or whoever you can trust who's taking care of you if there are chores for you to do. Chores. What's a chore? What's a chore? A chore is work that we do for our family inside our home. A chore actually is something we do for our family inside the home. It's work we do for our family inside the home. So maybe you might want to ask, and it's kind of scary, right? It's like if you ask to do some work, maybe they're going to give you a giant job to do. But I bet if you asked somebody like your mom or dad or grandma or somebody who takes care of you, even if it's at daycare, if you go to daycare, ask if you could do a chore. Or you could use the word work. Is there something that you would like me to do? When you ask if there's a chore for you to do instead of work, what a chore means is that you'll do it every day or every other day or on a regular basis. When you have a chore, you do it on a regular basis. So like sweeping the floor. You don't just sweep the floor once and then you're done forever, right? You have to sweep the floor to keep your floor clean. Or you have to put away your clothes after they're washed, right? You don't have to do that only one time and then you're done. You have to do that every single time your clothes are washed. So maybe putting your clothes away could be a chore for you to do. So a chore is work, right? But a chore also is something that you do on a regular basis, maybe every day, maybe every other day, maybe on the weekends when you're not going to school, you do your chores, all right? So chores that's work that we do for our family, inside our home on a regular basis. So what work do you do? Do you like to work? It's kind of funny. Work is kind of funny because at first you like to do it because it's something new. But when you have to do it every day or every other day, we kind of get tired of it. But you know what? We still have to do it because even if we get tired of sweeping the floor, our floors get dirty and we still have to sweep them, right? Even if we get tired of making our beds or changing our sheets, we still have to do that because they get dirty, right? So we have to do those things. So we always have work to do, don't we? We always have work to do. But work actually can be good for us. What are ways that you can make work more fun for you? So that's kind of an idea that I have, is that you kind of have to make work fun for you. Otherwise, you're not going to want to do your chores that you have to do every single day. So you have to try and make it fun. Sometimes we try and make our work fun and then we get sloppy about it, right? Do you sometimes get sloppy when you try and make your work fun? Like, for example, if you tried to pick up all your dirty clothes off the floor, but you wanted to make it fun, so you put a basketball hoop in your bedroom, and then you took your dirty clothes and you tried to make 3-point shots or 2-point shots all the time with your dirty clothes, well, that would be fun. That would make work fun, wouldn't it? Your job would be fun to clean your room, but it probably wouldn't get very clean, right? So sometimes we try and make work fun, but we don't get our work done. So we have to be careful about how to make work fun. Like we could shoot our dirty clothes into a basket, but then we need a laundry basket underneath so they get in there, or a washer underneath, right? So maybe you could do that. You could just try and shoot your clothes into the washer, right? And then you'd get further away, right? And shoot some more clothes into the washer, or get closer and shoot some clothes. How can you make a job that you do that's normally boring because you have to do it every single day? How can you make that more fun for you? That's something to think about. Okay. Do you think work can make you happy? So that's what the story said. The story said work can make you happy. Do you think that work can make you happy? Actually make you happy? I do. And do you want to know why I think that? Because I love my job. I love teaching, and that's a job I have to do. I have to work all the time to teach, and I love teaching. So, can work make you happy? I think so. Work can definitely make me happy. So, yeah, I think that work can make you happy. I think you have to find out, though, your special work. In order for work to really make me happy, I had to find my special work, the work that God wanted me to do. That's my special work, the work God wanted me to do. And that was teach. That's my special work. It is to teach. So, can work make me happy? Yeah, because teaching makes me happy. It really does. So, work can make somebody happy. I know it can. You just have to find the work that makes you happy. That's what you have to do. And sometimes that's not easy. But you know what? I bet people know you. And I bet the people that know you, I think I'm on here. And I bet the people that know you might have some ideas about the kind of work that might make you happy. Now, I'm going to say that again, especially when you're little. There's probably somebody out there who knows you that might know or help you think about the kind of work that would make you happy. Like my youngest son, I didn't think that he would be very happy in an office. And he's not. And he wouldn't be. Although he does like to dress up and look nice. So an office might be a good place for him if he likes to dress up, and he does. If you like to dress up, I like to dress up. So offices are good places for me. But I dress up for the classroom. I dress up for you guys. At least a little bit. I don't want to come here looking like a slob to my work. Do you think that you have a special job to do when you grow up? So, like I said, I think I have a special job, and that's teaching. Do you think everyone has a special job to do? Do you think that everyone has a special job to do? Why do you think you have to wait until you're older to do your special job? So think about that. Why do you have to wait until you're older to do your special job? Because we don't really see kids running around doing special jobs, do we? No, we see adults do special jobs. We see grown-ups do special jobs, but we don't see kids running around doing special jobs. It's not that you can't do a special job. It's just that really kids have some other things that they're supposed to be doing. What are kids supposed to be doing? Well, what are adults supposed to be doing? Adults are supposed to be working, right? What are kids supposed to be doing? What are kids supposed to be doing? Kids are supposed to actually be having fun. They're supposed to be having fun so that they learn how to have fun in life. That's what kids are supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be learning, aren't they? Kids are supposed to be learning. So kids are supposed to be going to school. And also, kids are supposed to be making friends. Those are things that kids are supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be having fun. They're supposed to be learning. And they're supposed to be making friends. But there is no special job for you to do, right? There is no special work for you to do. Those are the things that you're supposed to do to help you figure out your special work, to help you figure out what you want to do when you get to be big. Okay, let's look at the next question. This is a book about right and wrong. And our story on work, how is this a story about right and wrong? Now, I put that question at the end. Usually we have it in the beginning. I think I'm going to put that at the end because it's kind of a hard question. And after we talk a little bit about it, then we can start thinking about what was done that was right and wrong. Well, we know Noah obeyed God, right? We know Noah obeyed God. And I'm going to tell you something. So that's something, and I'm not supposed to answer the questions right now. We do that later on. We answer the questions the next time that we come back and talk about this, right? So we're not going to be answering the question. But I did want to tell you something about this idea of right and wrong. What do you think you would think about this story about Noah and right and wrong? What do you think that you would think if you saw your neighbor building a great big boat and it was sunny out and not a cloud in the sky? What do you think that you would think if you saw your neighbor building a great big boat? Some of you might help, right? I bet some of you would help. I bet some of you would think he was weird. Some of you might make fun of your neighbor, right? Some of you might take pictures of what he was doing. What would you do if you saw your neighbor building a great big boat? What do you think that you would do? Because I wanted to tell you about this story, this part of the story, because this is a story of right and wrong, right? Still, it's a story about right and wrong. Do you know that all the people made fun of Noah for building that ark? All the people, remember what we said, that people were acting very, very badly. And God wanted to start all over again, right? So even though Noah obeyed, there were still some other parts of the story where people were doing some things wrong. That's what Bible stories are all about. Bible stories are supposed to not tell us when everybody acts very, very good, because we don't all act very, very good all the time, right? So Bible stories are there to help us know how to behave when we want to act badly. When we want to disobey, what should we do? When we want to feel lazy and not work. The opposite of working is lazy. People who don't want to work are lazy, right? But Noah wasn't lazy. But I bet there were some lazy people if there were some bad people who didn't help Noah build the ark. We said God wanted to start all over again. That's sad to me. It's always been very sad to me when God wanted to start all over again. It made me think that people weren't very nice at all. And that's too bad. We really need, in order for me to do my work and do my work right, so I'm not doing everything wrong, I need to get along with other people in order to do that. In order to do things right, I need to get along with other people. And in order to do my work, I need to get along with other people too. Okay, that is our last question that we have, but we are going to take a little review of I'm not sure if it's there. Let's check this out. Hold on. We're going to take a little review of our patience. This should be it. Okay. So if you don't remember, we had our story about patience when we were here last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, we had our story about patience. So let's just take a look at this story on patience again, right? What is patience? It is waiting for God to give us the things we need at just the right time. And if you remember, our story on patience was about Hannah. Remember the story about Hannah? Because Hannah was very sad because she wanted a what? She wanted a boy. And she promised to give God her son if God gave her a little boy. And you know what? God did. And you know what else? And she did allow her son to work for God forever. After she had him for a few years, she did actually give her son up to God and allowed her son to be a servant of God, which I thought was very, very, very obedient of Hannah, and also very honest. Remember, that's our story the next time. And remember that lady who had a baby, she made fun of Hannah. And remember, she cried and she cried. That was the story about patience. But then God gave her a son, right? Okay, so let's look at these other questions on our story of patience. What is patience? We already read what patience was. Just now I read it, right? So patience is waiting for God. Patience is waiting for God to give us the things we need at just the right time, right? At just the right time. Okay. And then the other question there was, how was Hannah patient? Well, we know Hannah was patient because she waited a very, very long time and prayed and prayed and prayed for a son. So that's how she was patient. Was there ever a time when you wanted something that someone else had? What happened? And remember, because Hannah wanted a baby so badly, right? Hannah wanted a baby so badly, but all kinds of other people had babies, even people that were making fun, right? So did you have a story when you wanted something so bad? And what happened? Did you pray for it? Did you ask God for it? I'm always interested in people who pray and ask God for something and then to find out whether or not they got what they asked for. I do a lot. I do a lot. Pray a lot, and I get the things I ask for a lot. I do. I really, really, really do. So I think prayer works. Was there ever a time when someone made fun of you because they had something you didn't? How did that make you feel? Tell someone you trust your story. All right. So somebody had something, and we talked a little bit about this the other day, right? Like we talked about if somebody had a phone, and I told you that my boys couldn't have phones until they were in high school, right? And so if everybody had a phone, that would have made them feel bad, I think. But not everybody had a phone before. But today, so many people have so many things. And if we don't have them, we kind of sometimes feel embarrassed if we don't have them. All right. Was there a time like Hannah when you believed something you wanted would come true so much that you weren't sad any longer? That is called faith. Do you remember that before Hannah had her baby, that she was sad, very sad, very sad, very sad, and then all of a sudden she wasn't sad anymore? Why? Because it was Eli. I wanted to make sure I had the right name. It was Eli who told her, you will have a son. Remember? Do not worry. Be patient. May God give you a son at the right time. So maybe she wasn't ready for a son, even though she really wanted a son, right? God gave her a son at just the right time. And you remember, she was no longer sad. Even though she didn't have her son yet, she wasn't sad because she knew that God would keep his promise. So was there ever anything that you didn't have that you really wanted, that you thought that you might get, and then you weren't sad any longer because you didn't have it? Because you really believed that you were going to get it. That is called faith. Faith is hoping for something that we can't see, but believing that we're going to get it. It's kind of like Christmas, right? Like you're hoping that you get something for Christmas, and you think that you are. Have you ever thought you hoped that you got something for Christmas, and then you really thought that you were going to get it? That's faith. That's an example of faith, that you have hope for something that you cannot see. That's faith. Hannah was hoping for something that she couldn't see. She was hoping for a son, right? So she was hoping for something that she couldn't see. And then she wasn't sad any longer. She had faith. She believed in something that she couldn't see yet. Her son, that she would have a son. Did you ever pray for something and then you regretted praying for it? And remember, what regret means is that you wish that you hadn't done it. Here, regretted means that you wish you wouldn't have prayed for it here, or you wish you wouldn't have done it, prayed for it. That's regretted, right? Did you ever pray for something and then regret that you prayed for it? I did a little bit. I prayed for patience and I didn't regret. So I think I told you that I did pray for patience once. And because God just doesn't give you patience, and I think I told you this, because God just doesn't give you patience right away, what do we have to do? I had to wait for it and wait and wait and wait and wait. And I kind of started feeling sad that I prayed for patience because I didn't feel like I was getting it, and it made me wait. Well, guess what waiting made me get? Patience. Guess what waiting made me get? Patience. Waiting for patience gave me patience. And that's kind of an interesting thing, I thought. So I kind of regretted praying for it. I really did. I was like, why did I pray for patience? Now I have to wait and learn how to wait. I don't want to learn how to wait. I want God to give me patience right now. It's kind of funny, right? I want God to give me patience right now so I can be patient. It doesn't work that way, apparently. Apparently, we have to learn how to be patient. Apparently, we have to wait to be patient. Blah. Okay. All right, so that's it for all of our questions for patience, and that's it for our lesson on work today. And tomorrow we will be back at 8 o'clock or right around there. It depends. No, tomorrow I'll be here probably on time because this morning, was I tired. Sometimes I work really late before I come to class, like last night I did. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Who cares? I'm here and you're here, and I'm so happy that you're here. And even if you don't come and see me live, I do hope that you come and see this a little bit later on because I really like our stories. And when you come and you listen to these stories every single day, you just get a little bit of learning done every single day. Just a little bit of learning done every single day. And that makes things a lot easier. Whatever we're learning, even if they're virtues, we can't learn them all in one day. So every single day we learn a little bit. So I hope you join me, and I will be back here tomorrow. And tomorrow we are going to do some reading. Tomorrow we're going to be looking at some more blends, but it's not going to be so much. We'll review some consonant blends. Remember we were talking about consonant blends? Well, so we'll review tomorrow some consonant blends, but we're going to look at some other blends, like the blend that we saw in the word work. That's called a murmur diphthong. I'm not even an English teacher, and I remembered that. Murmur diphthong. It's such a funny word. That's why I remembered it. So, a vowel with an R, A-R, E-R, I-R, O-R, U-R. Those are blends. Those are called murmur diphthongs. Doesn't matter if you remember it. I just always remembered that because it just sounded funny to me. Murmur diphthongs. I don't know. I remembered it. Okay, I will be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. and we will be learning about murmur diphthongs. This is Dr. Annette Feravich, or Miss Annette, if you are 12 or younger. I hope I see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.